Bonjour, Anishna, Dyami Thomas, Indigenous Cause, Andewejin, Gazguasca, Jamaica, Mongitiko ni Taujibwem. Hello, everybody. My name is Dyami Thomas. Born and raised in Portland, Oregon. I am a tribal member enrolled in the Klamath tribes, and I'm also Leech Lake Ojibwe from northern Minnesota. First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody that is live with us today. Everyone that is here is meant to be here live, and everyone that will see this later on. You're meant to see this. So do feel free to share these videos. They are all on here live on social media, and you can share this or go back to them whenever you feel. Today, we're going to hear a compilation of videos that are from Indigenous Native influencers across the nation. And I had a chance to meet quite a few of these people in person. And a lot of these people, they're so inspiring. They have true, real stories, and they relate to so many people that are struggling. And I do want to say thank you to the Shoshone-Paiute tribes of Duck Valley for letting me present to you all. And I also just want to say that I am a suicide prevention peer counselor, and I hear stories all across the nation, and I hear this and that. But one thing I do want everyone to realize is Indigenous people across the nation, or whether that's in Mexico, whether that's in the US and Canada, we go through our own troubles and obstacles every single day. But at the end of the day, we're all one people, and I want you guys to realize that. We know what we're going through, but it's how we get there, how we get to that light, and how we start shining on our own. And these messages of hope that you hear from people, I want you guys to really keen in on, because one of these words, one of these people might just save a life. And if it's not yours, maybe it's someone that you love or know. So thank you all again for having me today. And I will be on here throughout the remainder of the time. But our first presenter is going to be I'm so sorry, my iPad went off.
I'm here. I gotcha. Our first opening. So hi, everybody. My name is Lynn Manning John. I am co-presenting today with Dyami. And I'm so very glad to be here on the Owyhee side of things as we do this virtual presentation for you today. As Dyami said, he is a suicide prevention certified presenter. And we're so glad to have him here to reach out to our community and all of the individuals who are also taking time out of their day to be here for us. This is for us, for the Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute people, but we also invite and welcome people from other tribal nations. This is a hard time, not just with suicide, but with COVID and with passing for other reasons. But to open, I would like to introduce my mother. Her name is Yolanda Manning. She is a Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute person, and she is going to be doing our opening prayer today.
Let's go this way. Stand up here. You're doing that. I'm going to under this too.
Hello, everyone. I want to say thank you for this honor today to be able to come here and to share a prayer with you all. I want to thank all of those of you who facilitated this to make this happen for our Native people, our communities, our loved ones, our children, our youth. Again, it's an honor to be here. I'm really thankful. So with that, I'm going to start. My name is Yolanda Manning. I'm Lynn Manning's mother. I was fortunate in being raised by my grandparents and was honored that I can speak my native language and to be able to offer a short prayer to all of you. Yesh ninana migabat, ninana waparuap. No koshrihimbaya no niketi piari pagubat yao di watabai kapagayo. Ike hima uniko ya o minyo yano ti piari pagobako. Meruroaki ti paperapa. Meruroibici, mesese ano yana. Menanana, mesese Nua pia, nua mena. Ungo ne me shuhane ne yanona. Ti kuizo ai waita. Bijao ni shukwai kwena. No, koso yanoni ke ti piari, pago ishe ti pia. Ti pa yao. Ti nyane o yao maru hata wukwana yao ya isnibone. Bijao umubano ni shukwai kati. Una umu ke uniko himati jani choi pagayo. Ti kuizo ai kwaita. Ike buhaba. No, kosno tawite. Ya rabati buinya kwa yeshiyut. Taba ikyak naka. Ishkuinya nakore wow. No, yuniao. Ti jawa zai kwete. Ike rami uniko himashu haninya. Bishao ti kuizo aikwen. No, kuti tiroma. No, kuti ene tibi zabinya. Ene ibi tiakamakana. Amo. Nemijo haninya yeshi kiao. Neme anak ti kuizo aikwen. Kaisha koro ike nemo manaya hada. Kaisha ko utang ite menida ipana. Kanya me kau sukwai. Susedati sikui mana makayo yakwe. Sako yesh ti tiroma hagaroi. Ike uniko minyo ike zoom minyo ike life matters meje uniakana. Sako ike aboninya sako yeshi. Bisha utang oite suhaninya. Te kuizo ai kwaite. O baba yo. Ukau na mishukwai. Yeshi wa ma. Bless yourself.
All right. Thank you very much for that prayer, Chimigwech. Our first video is going to be from Brian Thomas.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Shoshone-Paiute tribe, I want to thank everybody that's involved in this suicide prevention. We haven't gone here talk about suicide and how it affects families and the pain it takes within the families and losing a loved one, how much it hurts, and the prevention of suicide. I want to start by saying that we it hit our family here last month, and tomorrow actually our son would have been 35 years old. It's hard to talk about, but I will manage through it. And we need to take care of ourselves as a young man, lady, because the reason why is I want to get to is because our mothers bared us for 9 months, the hard labor, the birth, and then also taking care of us as we're growing up from an infant to a adolescent and being an adult. We need to take care of ourselves as that with good health, and then in return provide for our families. As a young man growing up, that's exactly what my son did. He helped us with the ranch, whatever we did, and he always told his mom and dad, "I love you, Mom, love you, Papa, love you, Mama," and always treated his nieces and nephews with love and good words all the time. That's the pain that we have, especially with the young ones, and not understanding. My grandson, 3 years old, not understanding where his uncle went to. I want to go see Uncle John. That's painful, and it really hurt our family at that time. But the love, tell your loved ones you love them all the time. It's go a long ways. We want to spare every life here on Mother Earth. We were given life here. Our ancestors fought for us back in the 1800s during the territorial days, and in the current wars, they also fought for our freedom. And we need to be taking care of ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and making sure and checking up on each other with love and caring. Today, we had about 5 to 6 suicides here on the Duck Valley Indian Reservation. And it's very painful time of lives for our people. We should not blame families or others of such. We don't know what goes through the minds of the people. And it makes your mind unclear, makes it feels like you're in a fog or you're walking around like a ghost because you're not concentrating on what you're concentrating on what could I have done when all this happened? Who was there when these happened? These things happened. Why and where? The 5 W's. It is painful and it really hurts the families a lot. And I feel very, very sad today for the families that lost their loved ones here in the Duck Valley Reservation. So please listen to me. Take time out and tell your loved ones you love them. And with that message, again, I want to thank everybody that's involved in this. Short messages we have to the public. On behalf of the Shoshone-Paiute tribes, this is what we want to do. And I want to do a short prayer. I want to ask the Creator to bless us in my Paiute language, Paiute Bannock, Shoshone language. And now you're going to do it if you're going to cast it. Yeah, I mean, the people, but money more. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Be inanapa. Be raised not one better. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. In my blessing, I ask for blessings from the elders to the unborn, and give us good health, protect us in prayers, and give us a good life to live on. Keep going on the red road we're on, and stay on that red road. The red road's the right direction to follow, and that's where we need to go, my people, tribal members. With that, I want to close by saying, I love you all. Take care, and check on your elders at all times. Thank you.
That's awesome. So at this, Brian is now Chairman Brian Thomas. So it was really great to hear from our leadership here at the Shoshone-Paiute tribes, and his son is one, as he mentioned, who was lost to suicide, impacted a lot of people. A class that we've been offering here, QPR, like CPR, but QPR for suicide prevention, mentions that when a person takes their own life, it affects about 115 people on average. And I would say that number is even greater in Indian country. But thank you to Chairman Thomas for that. Dyami?
Yeah, Chimi Gwetch, Chairman Thomas, I truly do appreciate it. And what I was taught, and what every Indigenous person is usually taught when they're younger, is listen to your elders and talk to your elders while they're still here, because the advice and the knowledge they have will go once they're gone. But if you talk to them and you take the opportunity to really open up your ears and listen, you can honestly learn a lot and possibly save your own life. With that, we would like to go to our next video. This next person is DJ Vanas. DJ is a tribally enrolled member of the Ottawa Nation of Michigan. He was born to impoverished teenage parents. He went from sleeping in a drawer for the first 3 months of his life to becoming a proud graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy, a decorated Air Force captain, a renowned member of the tribal community, a best-selling author, and a revered motivational speaker, a true warrior who was successful in both business and life. He credits these personal triumphs to traditional teachings and ceremony, his service as a military officer, and his upbringing by his selfless and hardworking parents. So, DJ Vanas.
Hi, this is DJ Vanas, and this message is for the Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute community. My heart is heavy with you. I know you've endured some tragic losses over the last several months, having just had another recent one in your community. I don't know you personally, and I know you don't know me, but I do know your pain. I am the grandson of a suicide victim. I am the nephew of a suicide victim. I am the friend 3 times over of suicide victims. My wife also lost her brother in high school to suicide, her only sibling. So my family has experienced firsthand the effects of suicide and the ragged hole that it leaves behind in a community and in people's lives. leaving more questions than answers, and leaving a lot of pain and frustration in its wake. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, that there are many people who are thinking about you, holding you up in prayer right now, and I'm one of them. And I just want to say that during the times that we're in right now are really tough for everybody. And if there was ever a moment that we were going to grant each other and ourselves some grace, now would be the time to do that. We are all going through challenges right now, and I know things can seem dark and lonely really quickly in the course of a day. And I just wanted to share a few thoughts that hopefully will give you a little bit of strength, a little bit of encouragement when you need it most, because this is a tough journey at times in our lives, and I know your community is enduring that right now. I think one of the most important things as we go through tough times is to make sure that we are really focused on self-care, that we're taking good care of ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And my people, I'm an enrolled member of the Ottawa tribe from Michigan. We call our medicine mushkeke. And that term has nothing to do with what we see on TV. It's not a pill, it's not a potion. It's anything and everything that keeps us strong, mind, body, and spirit. And it can be watching funny movies, it can be hanging out with friends, it can be getting in, or whatever it may be. But it's taking good care of ourselves and doing the things that we need to do for us. Because when we take good care of ourselves, we're stronger, we're more resilient, and we're more hopeful and optimistic. And especially during dark times, that's what we need more than anything else, is to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in that way so we can keep putting one foot in front of the other and get through those tough moments that we all go through on our journey. And I'm a big believer in starting small and taking small steps. Even when you get up in the morning, starting off with something that our elders and ancestors have always held in high regard, which is the concept of gratitude, just to be thankful for even the littlest things, to wake up in the morning at all, to be grateful for this life, to be able to wake up and be able to see and to smell and to taste and to be able to communicate and stand on your own 2 feet, and for your food and your shelter, and you just start expanding out from there. But just to be grateful for those small things as we wake up in the morning is really important to set the tone for the day, so that we can keep taking good care of ourselves. And the other thing is take those small steps. Do the next right thing for yourself. Do the next thing that you know is the right thing to take care of yourself in a good way. Small steps. I'm a big believer in that, because one foot in front of the other, we can walk through anything. We can go through those hard times and those tough moments that I know all of you are in right now. I wanted to read something really quickly from my book, The Tiny Warrior, which talks about the importance of the connections that we have with each other, which I think are critically important when we go through hard times. And it's I'll just jump right into it. It's one of the main characters is explaining to the little boy, who's another character in the book, about why they grow what's called, in my tribe and a lot of tribes in North America grow what's called a Three Sisters garden. So I'll just jump into it. Do you know why we grow beans, corn, and squash together, Cricket? Aunt Daisy asked after the remedy took effect. Cricket gave her a blank look and a shrug. We call them the Three Sisters because they help each other stay strong and healthy. Daisy walked Cricket out to the garden to show him how the vine of the bean wraps around the tall corn stalks. She pointed out that the squash and its large leaves spread close to the ground and to keep the ground moist. Together, the tangled plants formed a barrier to prevent weeds from growing as well. Just as the Three Sisters work together, each villager needs to do the same. Just as you've helped me, I'm helping the hunters stay safe, and they provide food for us both. You see, Cricket, we all need to use the abilities the Creator gave us to support each other. We can only survive and prosper in that way. What happens to one affects the other. We are all connected. None of us grows alone, Cricket. And I think when we're going through hard times, it's more important than ever that we stay connected. And I was taught that traditionally we are a lot more like ants and bees than we are like eagles. We need each other, especially during hard times. We're better when we're with each other. We are neurologically hardwired for connection. The Creator made us that way. And when we're going through tough moments, this is the time to reach out and connect. Sometimes the most courageous thing we can do is not to just do this on our own, but it's to ask for help. It's to reach out and talk to somebody and kind of unburden our heart, our spirit, with what's going on inside of us and sharing that with somebody else. Because sometimes that alone is medicine and can help us through those really tough moments. So stay connected to the people around you and be a support system for them too. Remember, you're not the only one that's in pain. There are other people around you that are experiencing it too. And we can be those leaders that we would want to be led by when we reach out and try to provide that comfort and support for somebody else too. There's communion in that. You know, this is the thing that joins us as a human family, is the fact that we all struggle at times. We all endure loss, we all endure pain, but we don't have to suffer alone. And if we're doing it alone, we're doing it wrong. So make sure that you're staying connected. And the last thing I'll say is just, I want all of you to know that you will be in my thoughts, you will be in my prayers, and you are not alone. Thank you very much.
Your sound's off.
Well, Chimiguech, DJ Vanas. And with that, just to piggyback off his last little bit of his message, you truly are not alone. A lot of people go through situations and they feel as if it's only them and it's their own unique situation, which most of them are. But you have to also understand someone that you may not know or somebody that you do know is going through the same thing. Maybe not to the exact T, but people are going through something every single day and you don't even know it. So open up, communicate, because communication is key when you feel alone, when you feel tired, when you feel like giving up. And for those people right now that are watching, that are going to watch this later, that feel lost, that feel divided, that feel like they lost their connection with Creator, whatever it may be, focus in on what truly makes you happy. All the distractions in your life, from the negativity to the obstacles to the people that just hold you back, get rid of all of that. And it's easier said than done, but practice getting rid of all of that so you can start welcoming in all the positivity in your life. But always remember, communicate, talk to somebody, and always accept the positivity in your life, and really practice not blocking any of that out. With that, we would like to go into a 30-second moment of silence for the beautiful lives that have been given back to Creator. All right. Our next video is for is PJ Vegas. PJ Vegas is an indigenous R&B hip hop artist and activist from Los Angeles. He's a Native American Music Award and MTV VMA winner, and the son of Pat Vegas, legendary member of the Native American rock band Redbone. PJ is the voice of a new generation of Native artists and part of Native hip hop artists. So, PJ Vegas.
PJ Vegas. Hello everyone, my name is PJ Vegas, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, on occupied Tonga territory. I'm taking time out of my day to shout out the Shoshone-Paiute people of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation. I know your community's been hit hard in these last couple of weeks, but on behalf of myself, my father Pat Vegas, and the whole Redbone family, we want to extend our smudge, our love, and our positive energy. During these times when it's most important for the communities to stick together, reach out, be of service, and if you're ever in one of those situations where you feel like you want to turn to suicide, always know that there's somebody on this earth that loves you. Turn to ceremony, turn to your elders, turn to your teachings. Our ancestors have been through way too much for us to just give up our lives for something that's not that serious. PJ Vegas, Redbone family, we love you. Follow me at The Real PJ Vegas. If anyone ever needs to talk, if anyone ever feels like they're contemplating that, reach out to me. I'm always here.
Awesome. You know, one
Yeah.
of the things about being here in Owyhee is we feel very isolated. And so to hear all of these messages from Los Angeles, from Michigan, from all over, for us, you know, we have so many resources. We are not alone. You are not alone. Our lives are valuable here, and we need to remember that we're part of a collective. We're part of a network of Native people who care. We are not alone.
I would also like to share just a little tiny story. A few years ago, when I was contemplating my life in California, and I was at this event, I needed to regain my strength and find myself somehow. And coincidentally enough, one of the places I turned to was from you guys' community and with some of your members. And I remember telling my story, sharing what I was going through. And one of the first times I opened up to anybody. And I was going through a lot in my life, and physically, mentally, spiritually, I just lost it all. So I sweat in your community, and I talked to a lot of people, shared stories, went through ceremony with you all, whoever was there when I attended. And it honestly, as cliche and corny as it sounds, it really was a beautiful moment. And it was something that honestly had part in saving my life. So I want you guys to know, you may be in the middle of nowhere, but that's also a beautiful thing too, to utilize your resources, to utilize your songs, your dances, your ceremonies, everything, because neighboring tribes, neighboring indigenous communities, they look at what you guys have and they're just like, wow, this is something we need, whether it's in a big city like LA or a big city in Portland or in the middle of nowhere also. And so really utilize what you guys have, because it really is important to get down to your roots. And something we have in this era, in this generation, is disconnection. And how we find that is getting back to our roots. So really focus in what you have in your neighboring towns or in your tribe, and utilize that.
Absolutely. You know, our isolation is our strength. We have a beautiful language, culture, and ceremony here in Duck Valley that a lot of people who are closer to town, their connection to that, they often have to come here to find it because it is still here. We have that. We have resources here. We have, you know, we think about the founding of our reservation and why our leaders chose this land. It's because it had all the plants and animals and medicines and water that we needed to survive. Our isolation has protected us. And now we carry those traditions for all of our relatives who come to us to get that support. Here in the school, we also have additional programs. We have a program called SOS, Sources of Strength. It is put together by Colleen Paradise, Shana Thomas, and Andrea Thomas. Those are our staff advisors, but it's for the youth. The youth are the ones who take the initiative and get engaged with each other to identify their sources of strength. So with that, we're going to go to Andrea and Shana and Colleen with our next message.
We are sources of strength. We are a group of diverse students and adults from many different corners and cultures of our school and community. We believe that life has ups and downs and that we will all go through good times and tough times. Our mission is to ensure that during the rough times, no one gets so overwhelmed or hopeless that they want to give up.
Our mission is to spread hope, help, and strength into every corner of our community. Our mission is to help students and staff turn to their strengths and their support, and that are all around us. We are connectors to help and strengthen. Our mission recognizes that our voice has great power, and we use it. Break the silence when someone is struggling, and to connect them to the help they need and deserve.
We spread hope by focusing on stories of strength rather than on stories of trauma. We know our most powerful impact comes from our personal actions, conversations, and messages that use our music, our art, our writing, our activities, our social media, our culture, and our voice. This gives life to our efforts.
We are sources of strength.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was really awesome.
Yeah, that's my
There we go. And I really like to see that too, because I grew up in the city, born and raised. That doesn't mean I was disconnected, but there was very few things like that for Native youth. And to try to find that connection when you're young, and if you're not raised, whether it's on your indigenous lands or whether you're not raised in a traditional way, it's hard. And to have something like that is to keep you grounded and keep that connection is really awesome. Our next presenter, before he comes on and we share that video, I would just like to share a little technique with you all. And I would like to give you guys some words, because I know you guys have gone through a lot, and I would like to say that better things are coming, but only if you let it. Better things are on their way, and positivity and everything you ever wanted is on its way if you let it. And one of these teachings I'm going to teach you really quick, I really want you to hold, learn, and practice every single day. Because people always say like Rome wasn't built overnight or whatever, or you need to accept positivity and get rid of negative things. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to practice this day by day, hour by hour, second by second. And it's easier said than done. But as long as you start, as long as you get that momentum, you start to become unstoppable in the best way possible. So if you all can join me, for those that are watching this live or for those that watch this recording later, if you all can join me into closing your eyes just for a moment. And I want you to really visualize what I say. And when I say repeat after me, whether it's in your head or whether it's out loud. I want you to envision yourself in a mirror. In this mirror, I want you to see yourself not as you are right now, but at your most beautiful. And as you're looking in this mirror, really get down to the details of your surroundings when you close your eyes and you look in this mirror. Are you outside? Are you inside? Are you at ceremony? Are you with your elders? Are you envisioning your ancestors standing behind you in the mirror? Are you at school? Are you at home? Wherever it may be, wherever you feel you're most comfortable, you're most vulnerable, picture and envision that. And with that, I want you to look at yourself in that mirror, really get down to it. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to repeat after me. But when you repeat after me, I don't want you to just repeat after me just because I say so. I want you to mean it. I want you to feel it. I want you to understand the significance behind and understand that it has true meaning and power if you let it and you absorb it in a good way. So here we go, with your eyes closed and envisioning yourself in the mirror. Repeat after me. I am strong. I am powerful. I am beautiful. Now, one more time with your eyes closed. Keep them closed. I want you to say this one more time, but with more meaning, with more passion, with more understanding. Because the more you practice this, the more you feel it, it will eventually start to become a reality. But if you let it. So here we go. Repeat after me. I am strong. I am powerful. I am beautiful. Now slowly open up your eyes. Really practice this every single day, you guys. Every single day. It doesn't necessarily have to be those exact phrases, those exact sayings, but practice something that makes you feel good every single time your eyelids open up when the sun rises. Every single time you're about to go to bed, end your day on a good note so you can start it in a good way. And always remember, your connection with Creator is never lost. It's always been there, and it always will be there. So practice that. I am strong. I am powerful. I am beautiful. Right now, oh, there we go. We're back on. We are going to go in with that. We're going to go in to the next video. This next video is Chance Rush. Chance serves as a consultant to tribes and organizations in reference to business, community, and outreach, staff trainings, and curriculum development. His passion for strengthening Native communities combined with his experience led him to the development of Cloudy Boy Consultant LLC. So Chance Rush, everybody.
And Chance has been here. Chance has been to our community several times. He knows us. He has been here. So I really much appreciation for Chance. And thank you, Dyami, for those great resources. Affirmations are super important. So again, Chance.
Deck Valley, it's Chance Rush here. I want you all to know that I've been praying for you. I've been thinking of you all. And I'm just really, really hopeful for a lot of things that are going to happen in Deck Valley in the future. I know that this pandemic has put a hold on everything. It stopped us in our tracks, and we had to adjust and work around COVID-19. I'm also aware that we have sent on some beautiful souls, due to suicide. And I want you all to know that my thoughts and prayers are with you. I know that enough people have said that. And I know that we'll never know what a community goes through until they have to go through it. But I want you all to know that I'm praying for you, that I love you all. And if there's anybody who's listening to this, that needs help or wants someone to talk to, please reach out, and never be ashamed to want to, save your own life or whatever it may be. And to anybody out there that is an advocate, that is an encourager, that is an influencer, reach out to people. And that's one thing that I've always learned, as a leader in Indian country, is that, you can always be available and wait for people to come to you, but you can also be usable and you can go to them. There's so many of our people out there all across Turtle Island that need us to go to them. And I want to encourage you and I want to pray for you. And I want to just lift you up, to our Creator. I know one thing for sure about Duck Valley is that we will bounce back and we are going to be in a better place after the pandemic is over and after another journey has begun for us as, keepers of this land and of our people and of our valleys. So in saying that, I will continue to be thinking of you, continue to be praying for you. And I want you to know that we're all going to see better days. Just be a part of it. Stay with us and stay up and stay active and stay healthy and take care of yourself, because there are going to be some promising days ahead for all of us. And I cannot wait till we can all come together again, how we can all rejoice again. Visitors from out of state, such as myself, coming to your community and learning from you, and you guys going out your front doors and, without a mask and without, any worries, and just knowing that, we're all going to bounce back together. I want you to know, Duck Valley, that we are with you. And, the Shoshone-Paiute people have always been strong people. You guys are pioneers. You guys are the tribes that are always on the front line. And, you lead the way. So continue that. And just know that so many of us out here, who aren't, in the Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute community, we're all surrounding you. We all have our hands on you all. And we all know that things are going to get better for all of us because, we're still here. We are one of a kind. And even though that they say that we're something else, we are the first people. We are indigenous. So I love you all. And I cannot wait until we can all come together again. And I'll be continue to pray for you, Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute tribe. Love you. And we'll see you guys down the road.
Cool. So a couple things Chance talked about was shame. We should not be ashamed to feel how we feel. And my segment's coming up that I pre-recorded, and I speak a little bit to that. So I'll save that part. But the other thing is the outdoors. One of the things that people who are from Owyhee, everybody from here loves our surroundings. So those of you who contributed photos, you'll be seeing them here soon. But we have the ability during this pandemic to go outside and breathe and go for a run and ride horses and just walk. We're not surrounded by buildings. We're not closed in an apartment or sidewalks or pavement. You know, we have the beauty of our outdoors to gain strength from every single day. And that's one of the things I think as a lot of our community members here, we value immensely and gain our strength from the outdoors, Creator's Land.
And definitely don't take these moments for granted either, because with the pandemic and it hit everybody on a blind side, everything can end at a moment's notice. So definitely absorb everything you possibly can, whether that's knowledge, whether that's the outdoors or whatever it may be. So at this moment, really get outside and feel that sun on your skin, or if it's cloudy or cold outside, it doesn't matter. As long as you get outside, breathe some fresh air, that can change your whole day. So if you need to start that out at the beginning of your day, drink some water, splash some whatever on your face. If it's snow, whether it's the sun, do that, whatever you need to feel right. With that, we're going straight to Lynn Manning John. She has some words of encouragement, of hope, and that's our next video.
Inawuroi, Yesh, Nananua, my relatives. My name is Lynn Manning John. I'm the vice principal at Owyhee Combined School. But before that, I'm a daughter, a sister, a mother, an auntie, a relative, and a friend. I am before you today not in my official role, but as a tribal member and community member. I'm also before you today as a person who has struggled. I'm not ashamed. I was hurting and my body was telling me that I needed help. One of the things that I did is sought therapy. Again, I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of 8 years of therapy that was ongoing up until the onset of the pandemic. I was receiving counseling through telehealth from OCHF, and man, I gotta tell you, talking to someone has gotten me through some major hard times. You can never tell by looking at a person what troubles they may be having and what weighs heavy on them. My best advice comes from my years of counseling and from the perspective of a mother, sister, and friend. Number one is breathe. The thing that you do without even thinking about is sometimes the hardest thing to do. If anything else, when things get tight, remind yourself, just breathe. Take a deep breath and let it go. Breathe. Number two is to validate your own feelings. They are real. If you are sad, say it. I'm sad. If you're upset, say it. I'm upset. Your feelings are valid. Acknowledge them. Sit with them. You don't have to fix them. They can just be there. Number three is to pause. Try not to react to your feelings. Try not to lash out in hurt or anger. Stop. Pause. Breathe. Acknowledge your feelings. I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm so upset, I'm not okay. It is okay to not be okay. It is not okay to hurt yourself or to hurt others. Pause. Breathe. The feelings and the moments will pass like a cloud. And just like observing a cloud, you can observe your feelings. You don't have to react. Number four is to seek help. Talk to a friend, a relative, a professional, someone who will listen and support you. You are loved, you are cared for, you are valuable. We need you. I need you. This presentation is for you to remind you that your existence is appreciated just the way you are. Bishama.
Hello, my name is Kit Julianto. I am from Owyhee, Nevada, Shoshone-Paiute, Navajo. I just wanted to offer a song for what is going on lately between all our relatives, and I was asked to come and sing which I really love to do for my people here. I love to sing, and I made a song here a few years ago, and it just brings a lot of strength, a lot of heartfelt energy to those that need it. And we sing it at powwows, and we sing it at ceremonies too. And a lot of people here call upon me to sing. And for a while, we were not able to sing for a long time, and I understand that a lot of our relatives need that, a song in their lives, and it just helps us to remember who we are as people and where we come from, and that we could always call upon our relatives, we could always call upon our Creator, and to pray and to ask for that healing, ask for that strength, ask for that guidance. And that's what helped me continue on in a good way. And I wish that for all of my people, all of our relatives out there. I know we are all hurting at times, but again, I want everybody to know that I am thinking of you guys as well. And when I sing, I think of you guys, and I also pray for you guys too. And I'm very honored to take this time just to offer a song, and I hope it helps with wherever you're at and whatever you're going through. And know that you are loved and you are cared about, and you always have relatives you could call upon. And here's a song.
Awesome. So for those who missed, that was Kit Giulianto. He is a tribal member here, Duck Valley, Shoshone-Paiute, and Navajo. He's also an art teacher here at the school. He integrates our culture into his art, and I'm so thankful to have him and have him share a song with us today, leaning into our culture, leaning into our traditions for strength. Even if we are not singers, we can always feel the blessing of a song when somebody shares with us. So I'm much appreciation to Kit there and giving us some strength through his voice and and his singing and his good words. Up next is Sage Romero. Sage Romero is a member of the Big Pine Paiute tribe, and he's also Taos Pueblo. He is an accomplished hoop dancer and has traveled internationally, sharing the culture of his people through song, story, dance, and art. Sage founded the Akamaya Culture Group, which first began as a group that provided a safe place and space to learn and practice culture for youth and families, while also striving to be a positive role model for the Native youth and live a life of sobriety away from drugs and alcohol. Currently, Sage is focused on building the first of its kind local Akamaya culture studio. The studio will be a resource for media and creative endeavors within his community. Utilizing their own resources, they can provide a community with events, productions, fundraising, cultural activities, and more. Through traditional and contemporary living culture, he hopes to instill pride within the youth so that they may continue carrying on the traditions for future generations. So up next, Sage Romero.
Manahu relatives, Nani Sage Andrew Romero. My traditional name is Alapian Chontai. I am of the Toboahama Tanuma, Big Pine Paiute, and I'm also of the Tuatati people, the people of the Red Willow Taos Pueblo. And I wanted to be a part of this event to help the community and also to spread some good medicine in the way of our people to your community as best I can. And I want to offer up my hoop dance to you all as a way of sending some good medicine your way, helping to heal the people that are hurting right now and going through a hard time. But our Taos Pueblo people, we use the hoop dance here traditionally as a way to spread medicine. We would have our medicine people would dance for those that are in need and were going through sadness and sickness, and they would make shapes with these hoops upon their body. And these shapes would represent things within life, things that are around us, things that are a part of us as a whole. And then they would do that, and it was believed that the people would feel good as they're watching that, and that's believed to be the medicine inside of you. And I know the community is dealing with a lot of loss, and we want to do this as a form of suicide prevention. So I'm offering this in that way to help those that are in need, that might need to have that kind of medicine that'll help them feel good. And it's always important to remember that, you may not realize it, but you are important and you're worthy to somebody out there. Even if you don't realize it, there's someone out there that's looking after you or someone that's looking up to you. There's always someone out there that you are impacting with your lives. And so it's important that we are all here, especially us as Native people. We have been fighting for years for our survival, even back past when we first had contact with the colonization, and our people have lost so much. But us that are still here, we are survivors, and we are keeping our culture and our beautiful traditions alive through everything that we do. So every one of you has that. Every song that you know, every story that you know, every dance that you're able to do, even the small things that you do on a daily, those are things that are passed down through our generations. And it's important we keep it alive for our people, for our future generations. And you are all very important, every single one of you. And I just want to offer this dance up to your Duckwater community in a good way. And again, as you're watching this dance, help feel that good feeling that it gives you. And also, if you have somebody that you know in your life having a hard time, send that feeling to them. That's believed to be the medicine of this dance. So I'm going to set up these hoops, and then I'm going to play the song and dance for you all in a good way. Oh, shut up.
All right. Thank you for that beautiful dance. Hoop dancers have always been one of my favorites, whether it's a competition, whether it's just for ceremony, whatever it may be. It's always hypnotizing. I caught myself just like trying to follow the hoops and everything. So I do appreciate his words also. Um, uh, with that, I want to say that dance is prayer. When you speak your language, that is prayer. When you feel the need to talk to creator or whatever it may be, even if you're not meaning to pray, that is prayer itself. So anytime you guys feel like you're disconnected or you don't know how to pray in the right way, no way is the right way. Maybe just learn some things in your language. Maybe go to a ceremony. Maybe if you're not fluent at anything, whether it's drumming, dancing, in your ceremony language, whatever it may be, that's still praying, and that's still in a good way. As long as you're asserting yourself and giving your all, that's still prayer, and that's being connected. So never give up if you don't feel like you're not doing something right, because everyone has to learn at some point in time. And don't feel left out. And because I as example, I'm not fluent in my language. I'm still learning. I'm not fluent in anything really, except for learning, because all people are still learning. And as long as you can learn to love yourself and learn to treat yourself right, you're heading in the right direction. So our next video is going to be of Tanaya Winder. Tanaya Winder is a poet, writer, artist, and educator who was raised on a Southern Ute reservation in Ignacio, Colorado, an enrolled member of the Duckwater Shoshone tribe. Her background includes Southern Ute, Pyramid Lake, Dene, and Black heritages. Tanya writes and teaches about different expressions of love: self-love, intimate love, social love, community love, and universal love. So Tanya Winder, everyone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanaya Winder. I'm a member of the Duckwater Shoshone Nation, and I'm also a Pyramid Lake Paiute and Southern Ute. I am grateful to be able to share some words with you all today, and I just wanted to encourage everybody to remember the gift that you are, that you were born sacred and whole, that you are always sacred and whole, even when the world doesn't honor that sacredness or you don't always feel that sacredness reflected back to you. I hope you know that Creator brought you into this world to make a difference, to help heal people, to help heal your family and your community, and that inside you, you have everything you've ever needed. And so if times get tough, because nobody lives a life unscathed, nobody lives a life without pain, but we are strong, we are resilient. Our people have survived so many things, and we keep surviving and we keep thriving, and we've held on to our languages, we've held on to our culture, and there's just so much about us to celebrate. So think about what makes you happy. Think about people and places who honor your being, who honor your heart, who honor your mind. And just know that you can always heal yourself. You can always just put your hand on your heart and feel it beating, and remember that Creator put life into you. And in each time you hear it pounding like a drum beat, know that you can do it. Know that you can hold on. Know that it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to relax and give yourself self-care. And self-care doesn't always mean like reading a book or watching TV, although it can be, but sometimes self-care is that hard healing, like when you get a scar on your hand, sometimes it takes time for it to heal. And if you pick off the scab, it just re-injures it. Like you have to sometimes just let things heal. And our life is like that too. When things happen to you, things happen to your friends or loved ones, make sure you take the time to heal and acknowledge those emotions and know that it's okay. And please always hold on. You are so loved. So many people love you and are rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. And you can always reach out if you need.
All right. I do want to apologize for butchering your name. Tanaya Winder. That will forever be embedded in my head. But those are beautiful words, and that is a beautiful message. And Tanaya Winder, I'm not even kidding. It should be embedded in my mind forever.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So to that end, I wanted to add, and going along with what you said earlier about, not speaking your language or maybe not being fluent in cultural activities, forgive yourself. It is not our fault. We are survivors. We are the people who are left after all of the attempts to destroy our culture and our communities and our people. So that if you don't know your language, forgive yourself. If you don't know your culture, forgive yourself. It's okay. It's not your fault. And we have an opportunity though, and while our relatives, our elders are still with us, to lean in and get those learnings and teachings to help us to live better and stronger lives. But we have to make that determination today. So thank you. And I forgive you for mispronouncing Tanaya's name.
Thank you. I hope she forgives me too.
Okay.
For everyone out there right now that is listening, and for all those that will come back to this, I hope that you do come back to these. Even if you've already watched this, please come back to all these messages, because a lot of the times when we're trying to mentally take pictures and notes in our head, we may forget something. So we are in a generation and an era where we have the opportunity to go back to a lot of things that are pre-recorded or recorded, whatever they may be written down. So really utilize that. And I want to stress again, utilize this time to really soak in everything everyone is saying at these moments, because this is a message not only of hope, not only of gratitude, and not only for you guys, but this is a message for the next generations to come. And with those next generations to come, they are counting on you to be whole, to love yourself, to respect yourself, and to do everything you can to live. So without us right now, and you all in your Indigenous community right now, of the Duck Valley people, you have to continue to be strong. And I'm going to say it again, it's easier said than done, but you have to be strong not only for yourself, not only for your family, not only for your ancestors, but for the next generations to come, because they are counting on you. I believe.
Yep. So up next is Arnold. Arnold Thomas is a council member here on the Duck Valley Indian Reservation. Phenomenal young man, but he made a choice in that space and time and attempted to take his own life. And he has, he survived his attempt, but he forever carries the appearance of his attempt. But what he did is he turned that moment into a message of hope. So he has provided messages of suicide prevention across the United States and even Canada, and I want to say even internationally. He has given messages of hope even after an attempt. There is so much to live for. He returned home after receiving his master's degree and contributes to our community here as a council member. So Arnold, you are up next.
This is Arnold Thomas. If you don't know who I am, I got my big black cowboy hat, and some people know it as a treaty hat. And but I've been asked to offer some words of encouragement, like all the other presenters that you've heard. And I was thinking about this. I've presented on the topic of suicide, resiliency, the importance of education, importance of culture. And so there's other topics I could go on and on about. I presented with tribes all over the United States and up north into Canada and farther north into Alaska. So I'm thankful that I had this opportunity. I want to focus on several things. One is our ability that we have to, think, our ability to rationalize, to think things through. Through my studies in undergraduate and graduate school, and my work over the years in different capacities, I've come to the understanding that as Numa people, as Shoshone-Paiute people, that we have very strong, powerful, intelligent, loving DNA within us. Our bloodline of who we come from, and in our mind, our brain, our intellect. It's powerful. It's really powerful. I just want to, remind you of that power that we have intellectually. I think about a computer through the virtual platform and everything we're doing. If you think a computer, your tablet, your phone is powerful, I challenge you to think about this. Well, who created those devices? A human being. That's very powerful. Our brain, our thoughts. Right here in Duck Valley, where our grandpas and grandmas, for hundreds, thousands of years, they told us to have that good thought, that loving thought, that kind thought for yourself. It's very powerful, our thoughts. So I want to encourage you to love yourself. Love. What I come to understand, that love, that good feeling in here, in here and up here, to think that number one, that I love myself. No matter how I look, no matter what I'm going through in my relationship with my friends or my girlfriend, boyfriend, with my mother, father, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, brothers, sisters, I'm going to be all right. And I know that you're going to be all right. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because the way I look at it is, a lot of you see me around, with my cane and, the way I look physically. I've come to love myself first and foremost, to care about myself. And I got my mom, my sisters, my daughter, my grandkids, and aunties, uncles, they love me. Sometimes, I know here in Duck Valley, sometimes we don't say it enough, that we love each other, that we care for each other. So I'm here because I care. That's the first part. The first step to love is you have to make that choice up here, in your brain, to care. I can't force you to care, or no one can force me to care. So that's the first step, is into love, is to care. I care. I love you. I truly do love you. And how do I know that? Maybe you say, you know me. How you gonna love me? It's because of what I've been through in my life. I tried to kill myself. My father passed from suicide. I had brothers and cousins and nieces, nephews, and yeah, it is sad, and it is unfortunate that some of them chose to end their life sooner than the Creator or how it was intended to be. And I know it is, it kind of up here in my head, it gets rough, it gets challenging, when we lose loved ones and we go through our own challenges. But I get back to the brain, the intellect. And so for me, when I wake up in the morning, I know it's a new day. Right here, they tell us when that sun comes up over the east, over those mountains there, so that's a new day. Go outside and greet the sun. It's a new day. Take a glass of water, go outside, hold that glass of water up to the sun and ask the sun to put a good feeling in there, a good blessing, good health, peace for yourself, maybe for your friends who out there that are going through a hard time. Ask that sun to bless them, because that sun has energy in it, has power, has vitamin D in it. Same with our Earth Mother. Trouble, we ask her to help us along. So I just mentioned that love again. First step, you have to care. There's 3 R's. You gotta recognize it. Love. And then you gotta also respect it. When you feel that love in here, you'll maybe you're driving down Chinatown, going lane, maybe you're headed up to town or a store. Maybe you'll see a dog or a cat or a bird, or maybe a cow or a horse, or maybe one of your relatives, and you smile, wave at them. You recognize that love, that caring in them, recognition, with your eyesight. Maybe you might hear a word, You recognize that word, that so recognition of love in other people because you're loving yourself. And because of maybe that smile or that wave or the words or spending time with that person, you could feel that. You're even taking a walk in the snow or taking a job or just being out, out here in our land. I know we have the stay-at-home executive order in place, but we're still out here in the country that you don't need to be around a lot of people. You could take a job, take a walk, to breathe in that clean air here, absorb the love that the Creator put in the natural environment, everything around us, everything, recognizing the love. And at the same time, you have to respect it, love, respect it in other people, absorb it, respect it in all life. And then as you respect it, then it's your responsibility to share that love, that kind word, that smile, that wave to other people, that encouragement, hope. That's what we're given. How so? Because, your dad, your mom, your grandpa, your grandma, again, going way back 100 years, 1,000 years, we're very powerful, intelligent, kind people. Our Shoshone-Paiute people, Snua people. So that's what I want to encourage you, because we still have that. And we're going to be all right. Let's take care of ourselves in our community, encourage one another, support one another. So I want to thank all that are listening. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arnold, for that really wonderful message. And, Arnold is one who survived an attempt, and so many don't get that opportunity, to come back. And, we're so sad that we've lost so many people to that, but we're also thankful when a person does survive that attempt and they can come back and give back to our community. And I'm very appreciative of Arnold. I'm also appreciative of this next couple, John and Faylene Conklin. They are from here in Owyhee. They are not here anymore, but they are doing things out of the goodness of their heart to reach out to us in this virtual world to help us through. So I want to go ahead and introduce John and Faylene Conklin and their segment coming up next. Thanks.
Let us introduce ourselves. We are John and Dyami Conklin. We're members of the Duck Valley Shoshone-Paiute tribes, but currently reside in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I grew up in Owyhee, and I'm a great-granddaughter of the late Charlie and Nellie Thacker, who were part of the original people who settled in Owyhee. This is my husband, John.
Hello.
And his ties to the reservation comes from his grandmother, the late Martha Bob Hooper, and his great-grandfather, Vaquero Bob. We own the Blue Creek Wellness business, and we currently are running the Yellow House Journey Show, which focuses on substance abuse, mental health, and topics relating to our Native American people. John and I have been married for 25 years and are blessed with 6 beautiful children and 2 grands. Their names are Tony, Shoni and Ryder, Shayna, Trudy, Jacob, Hattie, and Layton. Our family is our purpose. And why I mention family today is because our family has battled.
Yes.
We've battled alcohol and drug addictions, depression, mental anguish, loss of loved ones, financial changes, and devastation. And last but not least, we have battled fears.
The things we have learned here with our new program is what have we learned? What have you learned? I'm just going to go over a few we thought of today. Let's just seeking help, and what's going on now with the people in Duck Valley is serious, and you want to stress, to the people that, this is All we're doing is trying to help. We want nothing of you. And the big ones I have is seek help. Whoever you need to talk to, could be us, could be your mom, your dad, the health department, anybody, seek help. Don't be ashamed to seek help, And that's a real big part of our program, because we talk about ourselves. We don't talk about anybody else. We talk about, for instance, my addiction to alcohol, how it has hurt my family, how it has hurt my loved ones, just all kind of devastation. That's where the devastation comes in, And then when you find out, or I say, you learn about your addictions, you start tackling them. That's where your fears come in. Can I live without alcohol? Can I live without alcohol? That's been my crutch my whole life. It goes back to when I was a little kid in junior high and high school. Before the game, I'd have a couple of shots in high school because I was scared to go out on the court or on the field, whatever it may be. And you get to where that's your crutch. I don't drink that much, just a couple of shots for the fear. Indians, we used to call it, we'd sit around as fellas at the calling. I grew up in Battle Mountain, by the way, but we'd take a shot of courage before we did anything. At the time it was kind of neat. We thought we were tough guys. Take a shot of courage before you do anything. Well, that shot of courage grows, festers in you. Pretty soon, and you're getting your life. You take a shot to go seek a job, to talk to a girl. You have to take a couple shots to get that courage, because that's all you know. And that goes back to the help. And to be honest, be honest with your program. Communicate. We got to communicate, people. Tell them your troubles. Tell them I'm not right. I'm not mentally right. Even if it hurts and you got to hear it from one of your kids, or ask your kids, are you all right? You don't look all right. Where are you at? It's humbling. It's very humbling. And then you got to face your fears. That's a big one. Face your fears. You really got to face your fears. The fear of life, basically in general. Can I tackle this new job? Can I get married? Can I have kids? Can I stay sober? There's fears. There's fears in life. Everybody has fears. It's how you relate to them. And no one told me when I was a young man, hey, John, man, you're not right. You seem right most of the time, 90% of the time, but that 10% of the time there's something going on. It could be mental fears, just fears of anything, fears of life, But then, and I got and last but not least, at this time, I just want to throw out the message. I love to talk, but that's for the next show. I have a show coming up in about an hour, and we'll get to the fears and, the real stuff, but right now I just want to say, as people, we got to just love unconditionally right now, grab somebody, hug them, positive, nothing but positive right now. We're getting battled over there in Owyhee. Our people are suffering and they don't know what to do. So, it's kind of hard. You want to be tough, but I believe right now it's just unconditional love. Love everybody right now. Love them. Christmas time is perfect time we can love each other. Forget our differences, forget our hates, forget everything. Let's just love each other. Shake hands, hug, whatever you want to do, especially your family. They say we're in a battle over there. Well, I always say that, and I use the white man's way. Let's circle the wagons right now. Circle them up. Circle your family up. Protect them. Protect them. And protect means be honest.
Awesome. That was very powerful. I'd like to thank both of them. That's something that resonates with me a lot, because I myself, and what I'm about to say is not say hold me up on a pedestal or look at me as if I'm someone like super unique or different or whatever. But I would just like to share that what he shared is like looking at the bigger picture. And I'm fortunate enough to never smoke, never drink or anything in my life. And I'm 27 years old. And I'm just sharing that because I'm letting you know what's possible. And Elder shared that with me. He was like 75 years old, and he's a storyteller in like the Northwest. And he was sharing with me, he's never smoked, he's never drank, never popped pills, never did drugs in his life. And I was just a teenager at that time. And that was one of my biggest influences right there, that showed me it is possible to never get a hold of those substances, become addicted and let it take over your body. And I'm also not saying like it's too late for anybody, because it never is. People have lessons in their life, and they're all different from everybody, whether it is drugs and alcohol, whether it is your mental health and whatever it is, any kind of obstacles in your life. But how do you overcome those? It is stepping back, looking in the bigger picture and seeing who it is affecting, not just you, but your family and the next 7 generations. Because if you give up on yourself right now and you let those substances consume you, then there is no 7 generations to come. So really focus in truly what is important in your life. With that said, the next person we have up next is Grizz. West Coast Grizz is a hip hop R&B pop artist from Lodge Grass, Montana. And just to let you guys know, I'm pretty tall. I'm almost 6'4", and Grizz has got some height on me. He's got like 5 inches or something. That is a tall dude. But yeah, this guy is a very motivational person. He speaks to the youth through his music and through his platform. So Grizz, everyone.
People of Owyhee, Nevada, I'm West Coast Grizz. Some of you probably know me as Will from the Deli from a few years ago. I heard about what's going on in Res, and I just want to give my deepest condolences from the bottom of my heart to the families that were affected with all these bad things that are going on. I just wanted to let you know, God's on your side. I'm always praying for you, and you can definitely get through this.
Cool. We do know him as Will from the Deli. So he's a former local, and, he's one who's come, through Owyhee and is doing really great things. So it's nice for him to reach back to us. And for his message, I also want to thank Don Manning and Demara Carpenter. They're 2 locals who organized a ceremonial fire after our most recent suicides, and they have been maintaining activities and raffles and good positive energy as fire keepers. We're really thankful to them and to Grizz for reaching out during this time. So before we close, and we're getting ready to wrap up, my co-host today, Dyami, thank you. So Dyami has a couple local connections to us here. I'm so thankful to have you here, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew who you are. So Dyami is enrolled in the Klamath Tribes of Southern Oregon and is a descendant of the Leech Lake Anishinaabe in Minnesota. He has a passion for motivational speaking after being exposed to the obstacles our Native people face throughout Native country. He wants to use his voice to uplift Native people, and he is a certified suicide prevention presenter and takes it upon himself to spread awareness on the Native American suicide rates and to motivate people to live their lives, knowing that it is precious, and to love themselves. For the last 6 years, he travels. We have him today. We're so lucky to have him here with us today in this virtual platform. It's hard to get to Owyhee, so virtual is awesome to get him here. He's been all over the United States, Canada, doing schools, graduations, community events, summits, and conferences. And if you did not notice, he's pretty good looking. He's a model and an actor, and so he also shares that talent. He has participated in Fashion Week and modeled for Givenchy, which if you're Native, you call it Givenchy, but Givenchy, got to practice my French. And he also hosts workshops and classes for young people who are interested in Native modeling and acting. And that is a really great and positive outlet. And thank you for doing that and being a face of sobriety, a really positive face that represents Native youth today, sober, living in a modern time, living in both worlds at once, not one or the other, but both as a whole person, sharing positive messages of suicide prevention, teen dating violence, domestic violence, health and wellness, and just overall motivation. So thank you for, your messaging, speaking from the heart, being uplifting and positive, and being real, because it's not always easy. So thank you for being here with us today. So did you have anything, or I can move to our...
Thank you for that. There's a lot of people that went into making this happen. I do want to say a special thanks to my friend Darcy Eakin that reached out, and we're on phone calls and FaceTime and stuff together, just so what we can do to help out you guys' community. And how I know Darcy is back from school in our college days in 2016, 2017. And I do want to thank Lynn, and I want to thank everyone behind the scenes for making this happen and reaching out and staying consistent, because you recognize that something is going on in your community, and you took that leap, you took that step. So I really don't want your guys' hard work to go unnoticed. And for everyone out there right now, I want you guys to just appreciate each other, love each other, and respect one another, because not just one person is going through this, but everyone as a community in your community. Anything that you guys are dealing with right now, it is not impossible to get through. These challenges, believe it or not, were sent from Creator for you to become stronger as individuals, but it's up to you individually to rise from that or to fall from that. But it's up to you. So take what you've heard today, whether it's from me, whether it's from Lynn, whether it's from any of the presenters today, whether it's from Grizz, PJ, DJ, it doesn't matter. Take something, at least one thing from today, and hold on to it. Practice those spiritual things, practice those blessings that Creator and our ancestors have left us with, because everything that's happening in our lives has been planted for a reason, but you need to rise from it. So I'll probably have some closing words at the very, very end, which is in a couple minutes. But if I don't, thank you all, and Chimiguet from the bottom of my heart for staying strong and continue to stay strong during these times, because the next 7 generations, they're counting on you. It's a lot of pressure, but they are counting on you. So thank you all again. And you guys have a blessed rest of the day and have a blessed rest of the year. 2020 is not over, but entered 2021 in a new year in a good way. Thank you.
Awesome. So we started out with a prayer, and we're going to end with a prayer. We are Shoshone and Paiute people. We are two people. We are Shoshone and Paiute. We're Shoshone-Paiute. We want to acknowledge all of our relatives, all of our ancestors, and our languages. So we started with our Paiute prayer. I have next to me Mr. Ted Howard, and he's a former chairman for the Shoshone-Paiute tribes, and he's going to offer our closing prayer today in the Shoshone language.
Thank you, Lynn. I prefer to stand when I pray, but there's a lot of good things said today, and I want to thank you, Lynn, for asking me to be a part of this. Well, actually, Arnold called me yesterday, and it's good to be here for this and to listen to the good things that are being said. But also in that time, I've had time to reflect back on growing up myself. I remember when I was a kid, and also Arnold's mother, she's my classmate from years ago, and things were different. We didn't have TVs and all of these things. Years ago, people lived in little shacks and wood stoves, and we had to pack water, and there was always a lot of chores to do every morning and every evening. And because of the lack of technology as we know it today, there was a lot of teaching every day. My paternal grandmother lived with us, and she was a very traditional lady, and every day was a learning experience on how to respect things, or if you do something wrong, she'll get after me. And but those things have changed, and also our language is what we spoke at home. The Paiute and Shoshone language are very close. In fact, many words are the same. And my grandmother was fluent in both. and she spoke both, and I grew up understanding both. I'm more fluent in Shoshone than I am in Paiute, but my dad was fluent too. And, you know, I know a lot of people seem to think we're different people, but we're not. We're the same people. And, but I just wanted to reflect back on that. And I think that was very important in the sense that when I came to school here, right here in this very door that I'm standing next to, a lot of us couldn't speak English. We had to learn to speak English. And we used to get in trouble because recess time, we'd go back to speaking our own language. They didn't want us to speak in it. And of course, when we get home after school, we go back to speaking in Indian. And I think that's the difference today. What I see is parents that are fluent, even that they don't speak to their kids in the native language. Where, you know, growing up, that's all we spoke always. And so things have changed over time. And but anyway, you know, we've had a lot of interesting things. I just wanted to also touch on my brother committed suicide. I was in Vietnam in 1969, and I had about 2 weeks left in country. I was almost done there when the Red Cross got in contact with me one morning and informed me that my brother, he was the next youngest to me. He was just younger than me, but he took his own life. And that was a tough time, you know, because those of us that were in Vietnam were trying to stay alive, and my brother takes his own life, and I just had a hard time dealing with that for a while. But as it was said before, you know, we've all been touched in one way or another. But I think a lot of the issues that we have now are related to substance abuse, to drugs. See, these are the things we didn't have when we were growing up. Yeah, alcohol was around. That's always been around, you know, for a long time. And I'm no better than anybody else. I had my issues with alcohol too, but I put it away 40 years ago. And I don't regret that. But, you know, there are some of my friends that continued, and a lot of them are gone now. People that I grew up with. So we're all impacted by these things. But I think, you know, all Indian communities and non-Indian communities are impacted by drugs these days, meth and what have you, all kinds of stuff. And I think that's a lot of our problem in our communities is those kinds of drugs that, you know, now I don't know, I don't know anything about drugs, but it sounds to me like that it's a very powerful spirit, a bad kind of spirit that gets a hold of you, and our people can't put it down. They can't walk away from it. And so many kids that are born into this life are already impacted by drugs. You know, they'll never have a fair chance in life. And that's one thing that I've always been bothered by, these poor kids, you know, that are brought into this world this way. So in my prayer, I'm going to touch on those things. And as we talk about the earth, you know, all things out here are connected. Those things that we use for medicines and foods are still here. And many of us still use some of it. But a lot of it too is forgotten. Every time an elder passes on, there's some knowledge, there's some stuff that goes with it, because, you know, it's not written. Some of it is. But every year we see a few more elders that are gone. And hopefully our children will do all they can to learn what they can. And not too long ago, I was a young man, and now I'm an elder. So time doesn't wait for anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and say a short prayer. Now, again, I want to thank everybody for all the good things that were said. And hopefully that as it was said that 2021 will bring a better year. Our elders always teach us that the winter time is a time of blessing when the Creator renews the earth. It covers it in white. And we have a little snow, so I guess we're being blessed. But in the spring is a time of renewal. Everything comes to bloom, and birds and animals and everything has its little ones, and a new circle of life begins. And I hope that we have a new circle of life that's going to start for us to in a better way. So I'll go ahead and say a prayer in our Shoshone language and pray for all of these good things, and to come and ask our Creator to have pity on us, to give us direction, the strength that we had asked for, the wisdom, and all of those things that our elders have told us about. So I'll go ahead and say a prayer. Aram apa, sekne hipin noga, dinang abis, nedinanishun haitu. Venanat Tanaya Winder tamhoit. Tanduro Shanimaka many Saka no Hinan and Nansomanitio and Pums Nanamania when Tajon the Hakan, Haganiku Jeram Mamana Trondon. Gishindam Oyan, Singam, Gidam Oyan, Mamana and Wujadam Hagakamaba and then Maba and the Nerd Doshi, Zanguramanak. I'm a number of chicken, that's all wine, I'm a visual I can do. He demonstrated the show, he oil and that's so I can urge set to swear like. Tamba urge at the oak. I send up, but when that visual I can about Damba, he oil and some bar and visual I can. I shouldn't the hiker. And I want to get in the over show, no, he in the Rambach to Tawin, who was a ram up a chocolate on the hand. I should barber and language I can hear oil. We know how none and none I can Marishun the high. Tanzoya play oil was on the high. Sanana in a weekend, none a Christian. Kinaga the nerve I can even with. Kimariman Silk, Susan Karamasan, none and new quick oil. So he jan done Danduro and that's Dinang and Tamawash. Sundiction and Name, I didn't Danduro and Saka. He win the site in another way, so in the Sundiction and Hagen Heras. Tanduro and it is an American. The other emergency bidding with. So it in oils Nazan and Danny wine. The Gima Ramazan Sungahan, so you around Abio, Coveramandation, Aven, Nanishun the Heights, and Damagabite and Destin. Nansum Nico Nasa Session Maration war with the Christian Suman Naha Idendam, Nanathan done in attorney wine. So we could assume the high. Dam Ugish new and a second always and Dantan Nanatony wine. And they have the same from you with us and the Nanishun the Hand, the Manats and the Nay with me. Gigazon and the Mahabiman from Nanats and the Nay with me, I shouldn't know you with. Damu in the restaurants, Damu Danzans in Newa. Abigaras and Damu Nami up can the him be this Danzans and Danny Wanga, Ram the show at this new one. And Duro was a restaurant now. So he showed it my mind laugh with. So he gave him none of my after. But Duro is already one mere. So Nicolai on the hiker. Or so Nicolai that never was honor relation. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.